When you're talking about low-income students who do not have college-educated parents, the statistics around them graduating from college are very low. The number at this point is about 13% nationally. So that's pretty heartbreaking from an educator's perspective or even a parent's perspective. Certainly at KIPP, first the conversation was about high school graduation rates here in New York City. And once those started to rise, particularly with the kids that we were working with, then we started talking about getting them to college, right? And increasing those numbers based on what the data looked like. When they got to college, it was like, okay, well, they're there. How do we get them to graduate? So the first group of kids graduated from college in 2007, right? And so that was the first data point for KIPP, where the first cohort of kids, if they had graduated in 4 years, right, they would have been college graduates that year. And the data that we found was that for that first cohort of kids, there were, approximately 40 of them, and of those 40, less than 10 graduated within 4. So then we really got very serious about looking at that data and saying, okay, for those, 7 to 10 kids who graduated on time, what were the factors that enabled them to persist and to complete? I got to KIPP in 2008, and we were very, very focused on getting kids through, so much so that we changed the name from KIPP to college to KIPP through college. I feel like we have been tracking that work and looking at our data and really doing research around it probably since the early teens. I always call this the most incredible longitudinal study that anybody could have, right? Every year we had students graduated from college since 2007. What we found very early on are the same findings that they're finding now in the research, right? Having a sense of belonging, ensuring that you have financial stability, ensuring that you had to have a safety net both at school and outside of school. It was pretty data-driven, but incredibly relationship-based, and kind of having that mentoring person from your middle school, right, be able to support you in sort of that quest to get that degree was pretty revolutionary. Financial literacy was pretty huge, both for our parents and our students, and particularly for kids who are coming from a low-income background, where this is a huge investment, right? And that, I think fundamentally, like as a baseline, really understanding the economics of going to college is really important. Being academically prepared is huge. I think there are lots of things that we were able to do in high school to simulate what a college environment looks like and how you learn in a college classroom versus a high school classroom. You have to have enough agency to go to your professor and say, I need help, right, is huge. And that's hard for any student, right? But it's particularly hard for students who may have never been in any kind of environment where they had to advocate for themselves. For others, being in a completely foreign environment like a college campus, it gets really hard. We had this little mantra the last couple of years that I was at KIPP, that college is only the beginning. And so the conversation around workforce right now is super important, because I think it ties back to the purpose piece. But I also think that it's not either or, right? It's every opportunity and access that you can have in order to have a choice-filled life. And we recognize very clearly that workforce is a part of that equation. And I think success, for me personally, is seeing all of these students with whom I've worked over time just really flourish and reach their highest potential. If we could triple the number from 13% to 40%, that would be fantastic. That would be success. But that's super aspirational. But I think if we kind of stay focused on that goal, I think it can be done.